Yamaha dropped a bomb that we knew was coming, but how big is in the details. For 2023, the YZ450F and Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Edition YZ450F are all new and changed in ways that could either catapult or kaplunk the Blue Crew ride. Changes typically mean different characteristics, and here's a list of the major ones. The bike is claimed to be over 5 pounds lighter, maybe more. The entire chassis and engine have been shrunk to a more narrow and lighter setup. The engine is both shorter front to back and side to side, with the frame tuned to match. The wheels, swing arm, and suspension components remain the same, but everything else, including the plastics, is all new. Inside the YZ, there is still a 450cc displacement, but they changed everything about it. The power character is adjusted to be more powerful, almost claimed to be 5%, and yet easier to ride. It sounds like a marketing speak, but insiders say it is true. Expect a smoother bottom end, a more progressive transition to the top end, with a 500 RPM increase in the rev limiter ceiling. They have gone to a dry sump lubrication system, something that they tried in the 250cc's in the past, but now the oil is kept inside the engine in an area around the ignition cover, not an external tank. Power alteration is also courtesy of a new exhaust and intake port shape, larger diameter titanium intake valves, new forged aluminum piston, a new cylinder body, crankshaft, and balancer assembly. More important is the improvement of features to the Yamaha Power Tuner app. It retains the platform of previous version, but now is claimed to be even easier to use with more functions. Engine mapping can now be made using intuitive slide bar. There is also a new lap timer, traction and launch control tuning, and the bike setup guides. Additionally, the new traction control system communicates wheel slip to the ECU, tuning the engine to maintain an ideal rear wheel traction. 3 levels can be selected, high, low, or it can be turned off. The launch control system now features an RPM limiter, which can be set using rider preferences in 500 RPM increments between 6,000 and 11,000 RPM for optimized starts. Both systems are now controlled through the Yamaha Power Tuner app, making it an even more advanced tool. Inside the engine, it's still a cable-actuated clutch design, but the coil springs have been replaced with a new diaphragm spring that integrates the primary gear and basket into a single steel unit. This is very common in European-built engines now for a long time and definitely has some advantages in weight and size. The result is a more compact, lightweight, and durable assembly. Then, a tri-shaft transmission layout vertically layers the transmission shafts, raising the center shaft, forming a triangle between the crank, drive shaft, and main shaft for a lighter and more compact transmission with a shorter engine and a different center of gravity. Holding it all together is a completely new, redesigned aluminum bilateral frame that consists of more than 10 different aluminum components that are welded together. Not much info has been released on the specifics of the frame, but we have heard that in some places it is more than 50 millimeters more narrow, an issue that sometimes riders complained about on previous YZs. The Kayaba suspension components are familiar and proven with updates in the settings to match the rest of the new machine. The new slimmer and flatter profile, more compact bodywork is said to give a much lighter and more precise riding feel. The new airbox intake pathway, airbox, and air filter allow for a narrower fuel tank, significantly slimmer front shrouds, and a lower airbox cover. This gives a more seamless, rounded feature and includes the edges and the sides that are further said to help rider movement. The rider triangle has also been improved with increased legroom between the seat and foot pegs and a revised handlebar position. These were also common complaints for riders, especially when moving on to a Yamaha. At $9,899 and $10,099 for the Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Edition, we're anxious to get to ride this bike in October. For more information, check out Dirt Bike Test, and we'll see you out at the track.